Z,
Yo, Jack.
in your opinion, what is a Christmas movie? Not what is a Christmas movie, but what's the criteria? It's debated all the time.
The criteria for a Christmas movie. That's a hard one because I want to say it has to include like Santa of some sort, but it really doesn't. I would just have to say it has to base itself, or like the story has to be based around some sort of like Christmas. Like you think like all the Hallmark movies where all of those, take place around Christmas or, during Christmas season or on Christmas. Something like that as a general baseline. On top of that, I would like to assume it has to deal with a Christmas story of some sort, like Santa or, any of the other Christmas stuff out there.
Okay, so basically Christmas has to be the setting, the time.
It has to
a theme that kind of relates to what Christmas is about.
Yeah, it has to have some significant relevance to the story. Like I wouldn't say Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Nah.
against all odds, but it takes place on Christmas, but that's it really.
Fair. See, I don't know if you give that criteria to other holidays, though, Like, there's not really a lot of, like, I consider the Batman a Halloween movie, Just because at the beginning, Thursday, October 31st, people crowd the streets for the holiday,
I mean, I guess I wouldn't have figured that at all, not really.
Do you think there's another holiday that should get the love in terms of movies that Christmas does? Like Halloween gets loaded up a little bit just because it's easy.
Yeah,
but I'm talking like Thanksgiving or Easter or any of that.
I mean, there's Easter movies. I know there are like Thanksgiving movies, but those are usually like kid oriented. Like what is it, Charlie Brown? One of them.
Yeah. There's also a slasher movie that came out a couple of years ago.
See, I would figure that'd be more Halloween based than Thanksgiving.
No, it's called Thanksgiving, and he dresses up as a pilgrim and stabs people.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Easter movies. There's like, I guess there are Thanksgiving movies. That one's weird though.
There's Memorial Day movies, Veterans Day movies. You could classify all
Memorial
movies
Day
like that.
Movies tend to be like action, from what I've noticed. So
yeah.
I would just
you could have an action. We had an action-packed Christmas movie on this list, right?
Yeah. Was it good? Yeah. Well, that's to be debated.
Speaking of, let's just hop right into this. So, if you haven't experienced one of these before, we watched 3 Christmas movies, as you see in the title, to see if Christmas movies have fallen off. Because usually when you think of Christmas movies, you think of movies that were made 20, 30, 40, even like 60 years ago. I mean, my favorite Christmas movie right now is It's a Wonderful Life. And it has been that way for a minute, Like, what's your favorite?
I don't think I actually have a favorite Christmas movie, I'll be honest.
No? See, I was expecting you to say Elf, because I remember you saying Elf in the past.
I feel like that would have been a filler for a list.
Okay.
If I didn't have any others.
Anyways, you ask someone's favorite Christmas movie, it's movies that were made 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago. So we wanted to take some Christmas movies that were made relatively recently, in the past 5 years, really, and see if they're still making good ones.
Yeah.
Now let's jump into a not so good one. How the Gringos Stole Christmas.
Yes, sir.
Starring George Lopez. Rotten Tomatoes, 2 critic reviews, so they didn't give a critic score. But audience score, 26%. Wow. And this movie sucks.
Sucks.
This movie was an absolute drag to get through with two enjoyable qualities. One of them I'm not going to say because I'm a married, loyal man.
One of them I can say being the actor who played his daughter. Damn.
She's of age.
She is of age. She is very much of age.
She's a college woman.
She's not even a college woman. I believe she is like a lawyer or something.
In real life?
No, in that movie.
Oh, I'm dumb. But the other somewhat enjoyable aspect of this, can you guess what I enjoyed?
Is it the guys on the side of the road?
Yeah.
Thank you. Because that's
Dude, the first time is what they're asking for a treat. And he's like, no, you can't have any of those, fool. You on a diet.
Yep.
And then when he gets at the end of the movie, when they break up, spoiler, well, you're here.
Yeah, you're here.
I did not just do that.
At the end of the movie.
I thought I deleted my entire note.
Oh,
but at the end of the movie where he gets in the car with somebody, I still don't know who that is. When he gets in the car with
friend / ex-boyfriend, I believe.
I guess. But when he gets in the car to go to the airport and they're like, damn, I'm going to miss you, fool.
Oh, that
Pour out to you, homie.
I don't know who he got in the car with, actually. That was a good question.
I enjoyed their presence. Sometimes after one of their scenes, I'd be like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Dude.
What are they talking about?
These dudes dancing on the side of the road.
Yeah. Just like the same dance too. The one guy going,
yep.
What is that?
His facial expressions, I was like, he's got to be like that one friend. But, It was hilarious.
Also in the background, you can hear when the guy walks off the porch to go to the airport. He goes, damn, you think I got a chance now?
Dude, it was hilarious when they all hopped into their car at the end, and the dudes were like, whoa, bounce it, and then popped his fucking tires.
But this movie, it wasn't like directed by George Lopez, but he was playing the dad, the extremely stereotypical closed-minded dad, so shocked that his daughter would bring a boy home, and not only bring a boy home, a gringo. She brought home a white boy.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie, that's basically what the movie is. The daughter brings a boy home for Christmas. He wants to have a traditional Mexican Christmas, whatever that means. I don't know what that. He puts a cactus in the living room instead of a Christmas tree. Is that how it goes? Is that
apparently?
That feels like that's not. That feels like it was written by a white guy going like, "Oh, what would Mexicans do on Christmas?" But this movie is full of Hispanic people, so like,
I feel like that was written by a Mexican dude who was like, "What would a white guy bring to a Mexican Christmas?"
Oh my god, dude! The first line he says to the father, or one of the first lines when they pull up, and he goes, "Man, I've never been to a Mexican household before." Oh.
Yeah, that line was painful.
Oh my god.
It hurt me. I was like, they wrote that into a movie just for it to be that awkward. I mean, sure, but like, why did you write that into the movie?
But here we go. Here's the cheeky little hijinks, including the father thinking that the little white guy is fucking his wife in front of his entire family. When she's doing the yoga and she gets stuck. He walks in and he's on her back and he's just like, good. And he's like, oh, what? Actually, he doesn't do that. It is one of the worst acted scenes I've ever seen.
Exactly.
They're like, okay, George, you're walking in. You think this guy is just on top of your wife, grinding onto her in front of the entire family.
In front of the entire family.
You don't think of anything else. And George Lopez is literally like, what's going on? Oh, and like grabs something. He's like, huh?
Yep.
Worst acted scene I've ever seen.
Yeah, it wasn't a good one. I watched that scene go down and I was just like, okay, so riddle me this. You walk in, you see your daughter's boyfriend on top of your wife. with everybody surrounding them, like, let him help, like, and you think he's doing what now? Why would you? Why was that your first line of thought?
What?
it was like, I was like, okay, so now they're just taking this, like, they're like making it as bad as they can. I guess they have to be.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
Also, the son walks out to help him trim a hedge. Well, no, George Lopez is hanging up Christmas lights, and somehow, like a 5-year-old, gets them wrapped around his neck. Like, just takes them and starts spinning and gets them wrapped around his neck, where the guy has to come, like, get him off, and he goes, "You saved my life. You may need to be put into a home. Like, you can't be in public.
You damn near shouldn't be hanging up Christmas lights."
No. But from there, he's like, "What can I do to help?" And the guy's like, "Well, can you trim this shrub?" And he said, "Oh, yeah, I've been doing that my entire life."
He asked to do that. He was like, "I could help you with this if you want." And he was like, "Oh, yeah. Oh, really?" He brought him the fucking the shears out of, like, a challenge, and dude did it, I guess.
Yeah, and you hear from the other side of the street, "Is that white boy doing landscaping?" Oh, I didn't even mention the first. So the daughter is doing a voiceover introducing you to the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Oh yeah, up in the North Pole, Santa has little elves that do all the hard work and yada yada yada. In America, we call them Mexicans." What? But no, it culminates really. The tipping point to this whole thing is a soccer match, which the kid kicks a soccer ball after having the dad call him a pussy, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Just not a man. "Oh, you getting out of the way." Kicks a soccer ball into George Lopez's head, knocking him clean out, which leads to, legitimately, my jaw was on the floor when George Lopez was walking through the house, and then he had a little grandson, blue eyes, blonde hair, running around saying, "Where's Grandpa?" Walks to the table. His daughter, his wife, his sister-in-law, and his grandmother-in-law, or if that's his mom, I don't know, or whatever. They're all in whiteface. Powdered whiteface. Blonde wigs, saying, "Oh yeah, Grandpa went to Mexico and he's so happy." And I was like, what? Why is this here?
I feel like I had to have looked away during this scene, because what?
Yeah. It's a dream sequence where he's imagining his entire family has been turned white by this white guy.
That is hilarious, but apparently looking it up, I can't find jack shit.
I'll try to send you a screenshot because it's insane.
That's hilarious.
I was like, shit. Now that leads to the question that people have around this movie, the ones that have talked about it, and that's the double standard question.
Yeah.
If you had this movie and just, replace the family with a white family and the guy with a black guy, like, how would you have the entire family wearing blackface with the dad being like, "Oh, we can't have this"? Probably not.
No, I don't think that would fly at all.
The careers of all those actors would be over,
Yeah, probably.
But I think that just, not to get too deep, but it's because nobody gives a shit about this movie. Everybody, nobody likes this movie, dude. 26% of Rotten Tomatoes. Nobody has seen this movie. Okay, we just put it on here because we found the title funny.
It was hilarious when we found it, especially.
But yes, like these kind of jokes when it comes to white people is not treated as heavy for obvious reasons. There's no historical precedent for whiteface,
Yeah.
There's no it's as a white guy, shut up. I don't. It's so stupid. I don't care about a double standard. I don't care about yada yada. I'm not for like minorities can't be racist because I think they can. I think it's stupid to say they can't be. Yeah. But bitching about this, like, oh, the double standard. Shut up. Just shut up.
I've literally been looking for that scene this entire time, but I thought I found it, and then it turned out to be just the first 10 minutes of the movie.
But by the way, the dad wakes up, and the guy's like, "Oh, so by the way, I know you're probably concussed right now, and like, you know, shit, I hit you pretty hard. How many fingers am I holding up? Can I marry your daughter?" And the dad just breaks. He just breaks. He starts walking aimlessly through the house. He's so done. And I'm like, are we dropping? Y'all have been dating for a couple months. I mean, she looks like that. I get it. You're trying to lock that down. But A, is that the time to be dropping the question, even though you just concussed him? You think it's a great time, you know? B, it's only been a couple months. Can we relax?
Yeah. You know, there was one thing in that movie that I was just like, where is this going? And that was the childhood friend guy, or I guess the ex dude with the truck.
The friend that is presented as a ladies' man and is talking about how beautiful she is and how lucky he is to have her.
And touchy-feely and like, let's go out. Yeah. And I was just like,
I don't think if my lady had a friend like that, where he's like touching upon her and he's telling me how lucky I am to have her and how good she looks and, oh, you got to see her dance like this or whatever. And then she's like, oh, he's gay. I don't know if that excuses all that behavior.
I feel like that wouldn't be characteristic of a gay man anyways. Like that's like a dude that is trying to do something.
Yeah. Well, maybe. But even the boundaries are boundaries, you know?
Yeah.
If my lady has a gay, like, girlfriend, I don't think, that's not the same, is it? That's not the same, is it? It's the same question of, like, would you let your girl kiss her best friend, you know? It's like, if you have a boundary where it's like, those lips are for me, then that's a boundary, you know?
Yeah.
Your lady's best friend is straight. They're not going to get together, but you're still like, no.
It's just like, yeah, I mean, fair.
Then again,
that dude was very.
Then again, women are strange like that. Like, guys will make the joke of like, oh, you looking kind of fine today, huh, boy? You know. But ladies will legitimately smack each other's asses, honk the titties, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, me and you have never kissed, you know.
No. We're leaving it at that.
But how the Gringo Stole Christmas, I don't have any facts. I don't have anything because I didn't want to do
movie, anything. I didn't care too much about. Want to rate it?
0.
Hell yeah.
It wasn't funny. The only time I'd go back is to maybe watch the
white
3 dudes. No, not the white face scene again.
No, the 3 dudes were like the best part of that movie. And
even though, like I said, some of the conversations they were having, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. They more often than not were just like, I feel like they have no place in this movie other than the comedic relief sometimes.
Yeah. And even then, they weren't that crazy, that good at it.
No. So yeah, also 0.
So now we have Fat Man.
Yeah.
Fat Man starring Mel Gibson, Walton Goggins, or Wally Gobbs. Directed by Ian and Eshelm Nelms, the brothers, apparently. Didn't do well in the box office, but, you know, that's just how these things go. And for a basic synopsis, Fat Man Santa is just kind of done. He's just kind of tired of it. He hates the world. He still does the Christmas thing to pay the bills, you know?
He's trying to do the Christmas thing. He's not like done. He's like, the kids are just bad, so I can't give them presents. Yeah,
and he has this contract with the U.S. government. It's not really explained what the contract is.
I'm assuming here, based off of what the movie said, that contract was you deliver a certain amount of presents, and we remunerate you based off of what you spent, and doing that.
Which that doesn't make any sense. Why that would be a thing, but we'll get into it. But he has this government contract, and they're getting upset because more and more coal is being put out there because kids these days,
yeah.
So he has to take on another government contract where the elves start building military weapons. And meanwhile, this is going on. A kid who gets coal in his stocking that is the most spoiled brat you've ever seen.
Douchey fuckwit I have ever seen.
Yeah. Kidnaps a kid who beat him in the science fair to threaten to torture her to give him the medal.
Yep.
He gets coal in his stock in a little gift bag or whatever. And hires Walton Goggins to kill Santa Claus, who has his own personal vendetta against Santa Claus.
For also getting coal in his stocking when he was young.
And let me tell you, my dad mentioned this movie to me, said it was pretty good, and I was watching this. I was like, yeah, this is a movie my dad would like. I watched reviews on this movie, and they were like, man, the emotional beats hit. Man, the action's great. And I'm like, what movie did you watch? What movie did you watch?
Emotional beats where?
Where? Apparently, Mrs. Claus, it was like, oh, that's his rock. She's a good actor, but when they were together, it's like, oh, yeah, this is a married couple. There wasn't anything where I'm like, damn. I mean, yeah, when you look at it like that, I mean, yeah, he's in this place and she's calming him. I don't see any of that.
The most emotional part of it was the fact that she supported him through about everything and was like real with what she said to him. But like, that's a married couple.
I do want to mention the magical side of this. Because they don't go into Santa's powers.
They skip over it a lot. As a matter of fact, entirely for just about the entire movie.
But what I noticed, super strength, right?
Yep.
Immortal?
Yeah.
Because he gets shot point blank in the head.
And he talks several times about way back in, 1900, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, super strength, immortal, omnipotent knowledge, however you say that.
He knows just everybody, everything. Yeah, about people.
Yeah, about people, it's limited.
Yes.
But he can look at someone and be like, oh, this is your name, and this was your parents, and this, yada, yada, yada.
And this is something that you did, like, at the very end of the movie where he was like, don't torture that girl again, or if she so much as get hurt, because he knew he did that. So, yeah.
I guess he is kind of omnipresent, isn't he?
I feel like it's kind of limited to when he's like sees that person, or like in the case of the Christmas list, whenever he's reading their name, he like knows whether they're good or bad, that kind of shit. But I feel like it's not all the time. Like he didn't know, he wasn't aware that his warehouse was getting attacked when it was.
Yeah. So you think he reads the name, or he thinks of the name, and he's like, oh, these are the actions he did. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like he has to presently think of that person.
Okay. And then the elves anatomy really isn't, they're just, like, you think they're just little guys, but then they don't have the same diet as humans. You see the general, whatever his name was, talk about, oh, you need this, and that. The elves were like, no, we're straight.
Yeah, they were like, we've determined that our ultimate diet is just a bunch of sugar, pretty much.
Yeah, maple syrup as
or most efficient for them.
As the best actor, though, the actor who did the best job is Walton Goggins, in my opinion. The guy who plays the hitman who gets hired to play Santa. I like Mel Gibson is fine. Lady who played Mrs. Claus is fine. Everybody else kind of blows. I really like Walton Goggins as an actor. So maybe that's because I just want to like him, but I feel like he did the best job in the movie.
I feel like I've seen him do much better in other movies that probably should have been worse.
Sure. But that doesn't really say anything about this performance, you know? His role as Venus in Sons of Anarchy, he did a lot better in. His role as the Ghoul in Fallout.
Fallout, yeah.
A lot better. Yeah, he's done better work, but...
If anything, I feel like it was probably the limit of the movie itself that probably is what I'm thinking of. Like, There were times when, like... He tried to do what he could given the scene given the direction he was like made to take in that scene. Like in the portion where he's like him and Santa are like standing off and he's like, "Fat man," and I'm just like, that's weird the way he did that.
Yeah.
But like,
and what was the whole thing? What was his issue with Santa Claus?
The same thing, Cole, because he was a quote unquote bad kid, but he blamed it on his parents.
No. He kept asking Santa to replace his parents because his parents were bad, and Santa didn't, and his parents kept beating the shit out of him or something like that. Which that's irrational. Can I say? I get like abused kid, damaged. He's not going to be thinking rationally, but that's irrational. That's a little much.
Yeah. Santa was literally like, there are limits to what I can do, and replacing your parents ain't one of them.
Yeah, but the kid, and I have this phenomenal fact about the kid. Where is it? Chance Hurstfield, who plays Billy, was cast by the filmmakers because he resembles Ben Shapiro. That's so great. That's so good.
That's hilarious. That is so funny.
That's so funny. Spoiled rich kid. I don't know Ben Shapiro's background, but if he's a spoiled rich kid, that's hilarious.
I mean, I guess I could see it thinking back to the movie, but that's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
There was one point in the movie that I was trying to think of, but I cannot remember. Do I have notes on this? Because I probably do. I do have notes on the giant fat man yelling. Oh yeah. The soldiers in this movie are probably the worst bunch of soldiers I have ever seen anywhere. Like any representation of like any movie besides maybe Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like the dudes that, you know, when he showcased his super strength by lifting up that pallet of shit, right? After when the guy dropped it, why didn't you like just try and use the forklift to, you know, common thinking, you know, just to lift it back up? I get it was a point to showcase his super strength, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Or the dudes that are supposedly guarding this top secret location and they, you know, let Walter Goggins, you know, get in and kill everybody very quickly.
Well, it makes a point to show that Walton is skilled. So it's not like just some random guy. He's extremely skilled, but
didn't really even get the chance to even try and fight back. Like the people that did fight back were all the way in the warehouse, and it was the general who had a weird relationship with the elves already.
Yeah.
So it was just like
the whole military and American government involvement, it will continue to confuse me because it's supposed to ground Santa into, well, how does his money work? Like, how does he fund his operation? When in every other, it's just magic. It's just magic.
Yeah.
And they try to do it, and it's a convoluted mess because America's not the only government in the world. So is other governments in contact with Santa? Because in this universe, it's like Santa's a real guy.
And he's in
everybody
North
knows
Peak, Canada.
Yeah, Santa's a real guy and everybody knows Santa exists. There's nobody that doesn't believe in Santa Claus. There's just kids who act up.
Yeah.
Right? So are other governments trying to get at Santa Claus for a contract and he's just denied it? I mean, it's Mel Gibson. He doesn't really like... Anyways. I mean, why in particular is he signed a contract with the U.S. government to do this many presents or whatever, and then you don't... Again, it's supposed to ground Santa and be like, oh yeah, so he's supposed to get this. He's immortal. Like, he has superpowers.
They grounded Santa while also, like, sort of glazing over the fact that, yes, there is magic, and he kind of just uses it. Like,
yeah,
specific points, like, you know, how everybody in the town where he gets his mail, you know, knows of him, but doesn't know where he lives.
Yeah.
And, like, he drives a very obvious, you know, was it red pickup? Where, you know, he drives in from a certain direction, drives out that same direction, and, you know, he has a set path where there are tire tracks. Like, nobody thought, like, oh, that's Santa's place, like, that way, like, or anything.
Yeah. Also, I don't, especially, let's really get into it with the whole money thing. So does Santa outsource material? What companies is Santa buying from to provide metal and plastic and wood and blah, 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 blah? Because that's not explored. It's like they try to do this.
He's gotten was the government shit.
Yeah. They try to do this to ground Santa, and it just ends up a confusing mess of like, what? I saw a review where this guy was like, oh yeah, that's a really interesting thing. But just think about it for 2 seconds and you're like, no, this makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
It just makes more sense to be like, Santa's magical.
Yes.
Snap. Here's the supplies.
It makes so much more sense just to be like, yeah, let's not try and ground him in reality, because the moment you try and start thinking about it logically, it falls apart instantly. So let's just make it magic. That's the most simple thing. It's Santa Claus. Magic.
Just make it magic.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying. Just make it magic. In life, just make it magic.
Just make it magic.
But this ends with Walton Goggins storming Santa's little compound, getting into the warehouse and blowing it up, and having a face-off with Santa Claus himself. And Santa says, you think you're the first one to come after me? How do you think I got this job? What is he implying he killed the Santa Claus? Like, he's not...
No, he's implying that he's got the job because he's strong enough to defend himself against assassins that try and come after him.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's weird to tack that on, though, because there is that implication. But going back, people have been trying to kill Santa Claus?
In this world?
I mean, why isn't that the contract that the U.S. government has signed, where Santa's like, I'm so tired of defending myself from these Santa assassins. Can y'all protect me?
I think that's part of the confusion when it comes to the like mail delivery system being one way to track him. Nobody knows, in his town at least, nobody knows where he lives, so that's presumably some sort of magic, I assume. And then you get to like the people tracking him down. I mean, at least Walton Goggins had to track down like mail and then go through the mail guy and then use a hamster for something.
Oh, that was just like, oh, I have a hitman in this movie. He's got to have a quirky little thing.
Oh,
and his quirky little thing is a hamster.
All right, cool. But I feel like there's like confidentiality steps that are quote unquote taken to protect where he's at. It's just those people somehow get past it.
Okay. Well, he has this face off and he gets Santa Claus, shoots him several times, and then pops him in the head, and then gets shot by Mrs. Claus, and then chases her in the house.
And then gets shot again.
And then Mrs. Claus kills him, and then she runs out to Santa. Is like, oh, don't worry, he's getting up.
Let me give you a reaction that I had during this entire scene. So I go, okay, Santa dies in this one. All right. Ruth kills him. Okay. Huh? What's the point then? You know, like, because you know that's where Santa, you know, just comes back to life, I guess.
Yeah. So all that tension, the little there was, it truly was nothing because he was just going to get right back up. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess like if he cut off his head, does he have like a Wolverine level healing factor? Where if you cut off his head, he'll be straight still, or, you know?
I don't know. It's just
basically they show Santa to be immortal. He just sits right back up, and they rebuild the barn. And it's supposed to be a lesson of like he's accepted that like he's better, like he wasn't himself, but the kids are still shitty, and there wasn't really anything that upticked him. He looked at some pictures in a barn.
I think what the ending was supposed to mean was that Santa was going to take a more active approach in correcting the kids' bad, you know, behavior, so he can eventually, you know, lead the world back to getting more presents and sustaining himself and the elves to continue doing the same job.
By becoming a threatening Santa Claus?
Yeah, like, you good, or if not, I guess you're going to be dealt with.
I kind of wish they would have gone all the way and, like, just drowned the kid or something. Like, you know, you're too far gone. Hang him up in town square with a sign that says, nice, and that's it.
String him up. Now, I feel like
string up the mini Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, I was going to say the best part about it was it all falling apart for Mini Ben. I'm going to call him that now.
Overall, I didn't find much enjoyment out of this.
No.
I would give this 2 jingle bells, 2 sleigh bells out of 5.
I was going to give it a solid 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10? Well, if you're going out of 10, then I guess mine would be a 1.
Oh, yours would also be a 4.
Oh yeah. I'm dumb. Why would it be more? Why would it be less? Yeah, it blew. It was confusing.
Yeah.
The action wasn't that great. It was pretty boring action.
It was gruesome, I'll give it that. And it was just an angry movie, I guess.
I'm not like, I can understand to a point why people would enjoy this. If you're just like, if you like, you know what? I don't know.
Yeah, if you like what? Because the movie,
if you like very basic action movies, like Hitman style movies, and you think and you enjoy the absurdness of putting Santa Claus into a world like that, then sure, this might be your cup of tea. But, I
mean, long story short, the movie just seemed like Santa struggling to survive, and then this angry kid hires an assassin to kill him, and then that was really it.
Yeah.
And somehow it resolves itself for Santa and the money thing. I don't understand what fixed it, but yeah.
What we're saying is, go watch it if you want to watch it. Don't listen to us.
Yeah, don't listen to us.
Finally, we have The Holdovers.
Yes, last but not least.
I did not get... Oh, yeah, Alexander Payne is the director. Introducing Dominic Sessa as Angus Tully, which, by the way, have you ever watched The Whitest Kids You Know?
Yeah, I've seen some clips.
Okay, do you know the tall white guy, brown hair? His name's Trevor Moore, I believe.
I think I can visualize his face.
Yeah. He did you see the Abraham Lincoln one? Where Abraham Lincoln's at the play, and it's what really happened in the assassination?
No.
He's like, oh shit, he's going to bite you. He's like, Mr. President, would you please shut up? What? What you say? String bean? Huh? You tall, skinny looking motherfucker? Huh? Who said that shit?
No.
He plays John Wilkes Booth in that one. Anyways, anybody listening to this, look up Dominic Sessa and look up Trevor Moore and tell me that Dominic is not just a younger version of him, because he looks exactly like him. He talks like him. I can't get it out of my head.
I'm looking up Trevor Moore now because...
But we have him. We have Paul Giamatti as the teacher who warned off whatever his name was. Mm-hmm. And Divine Joy Randolph, who played Mary, who I feel like honestly did the best job here. And it's close because I think all the acting is really good in this, but she really stands out to me.
Yeah, I had to, when I started watching this movie, I had to stop and take a moment to look it up because I was like, am I watching the right movie? Because I didn't realize that it did a pretty good job of looking older, in terms of how the movie was shot.
Yeah, it was stylized like it was a movie made in the 70s.
Yeah. And I was just like, this isn't the movie, right? And everything I looked up, I was like, oh, this is definitely the movie. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently how they did that, they wanted originally to film this movie on film, but the look of it didn't have the look they wanted. So they filmed, I can't remember the exact camera settings or whatever, which camera, the millimeter that they filmed on.
Yes.
But they basically filmed it on that camera and just put kind of a filter over it.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, because I think Paranormal Activity did something similar when they first made that movie. No, they actually filmed on old cameras for that. So they did a similar idea.
Okay. Basically, the synopsis of this movie. This teacher is a teacher at a private school, and he is pretty sick of it. He's not sick of it because he enjoys his job, but he hates the kids. He hates most of the staff. He sits on campus all day. He's a real, recluse, real curmudgeon, a real Scrooge to stay in season.
Yeah.
You know? And he gets stuck with what is called the holdovers, which are these rich kids that's family didn't come pick them up for Christmas, so they have to stay at the school, and he basically watches over them. And at the beginning, there's 5? Angus, the football kid, Coombs, and the 2 little kids.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so there's 5 at the beginning. Halfway through the movie, the football kid, his dad actually comes and picks him up and breaks. And they takes 4 of them, so now it's just Angus because his parents didn't pick up the phone.
Yep.
And we have the rest of the movie, which is basically, and you described it when we first started talking about it, and I had to apologize for being a dickhead. But you were like, oh, it's just a basic,
Honestly, it seemed like I don't want to say generic because that's more like a Hallmark idea in my mind when I think generic Christmas movie. It's just it follows a very common theme is what I really meant to say. And that's what I got when I was getting towards the end of the movie. I was just because I felt like I had seen it before, but I know for a fact I haven't seen this movie. And I was just it must be because it's just I could almost call the shots.
Well, yeah, because there's plenty of stories where you got the rugged whatever, and then you have this other person, and they learn from each other, and they learn to have a better outlook on the world because of each other. Yes, that's been done time and time again, but I don't think that's a detriment to a movie. It's all about execution, because every story has been done before. So, if we're still taking that as as a knock on a movie, I think it's just like Fat Man is a generic Hitman movie. Yeah. I wouldn't consider this a generic whatever.
I made an Agent 47 joke in my notes for Fat Man. So, yeah.
And you didn't use it?
No, I didn't because I don't remember the exact scene it was in reference to. And all I said was, dude is like an off-brand Agent 47. So.
Fair enough. But I genuinely love this movie. Apparently and I want to get your thoughts on this. At the end of the movie, did you feel like it was a heartwarming story, or did you feel like it was a heartbreaking story?
That is a hard question. I felt like it was more of a heartwarming story.
Okay. Alexander Payne has been asked about it, and he says that he feels like he wants to throw open his mouth when people say it's a heartwarming story, because he didn't think it was because of how it ended, really, and also everything you find out about Dominic's character, or everything you find out about Paul's character. He doesn't feel it's a heartwarming story, but that's the thing, man. Like, that's the thing about art. You make this thing and you may have an intention for it, but you put it out into the world and everybody takes it a different kind of way, you know?
Yeah.
I would classify it as bittersweet, because in the end, the teacher does get fired and Angus loses another, parental figure in his life. So I would get why he would want it to be kind of a heartbreaking story. But also, Angus is in a better place, I would say. The teacher's in a better place. Yeah. Mary's in a better place. Really, the true character growth, the full character arc comes with Mary, because at the beginning, she's a grieving mother. And then she kind of learns slowly. Like, she hits her low point getting drunk at that party and completely breaking. But then she's able to let go of Curtis's baby things and gives it to her sister. Yeah. And now she's just in a much better place than she was at the start of the movie.
Overall, everybody ended up in a better spot than they would have been, via the beginning of the movie, which is why it was an overall general better ending than you would expect.
Yeah. And I think that's more mental, because he's still stuck at school. The teacher got fired.
He still got fired.
Mary is still there, but mentally, I think they're all in a much, much, much better place.
In a literal sense, sure, they didn't end up in a much better spot, but in a mentality, as you said, it's just overall better.
Yeah, and I will say one of the things that was annoying in this movie was the clear and obvious product placement. That I was like, okay, I love this movie, and I really tried not to let it get to me, because I was like, come on. How many fucking times in that bar did they say Miller High Life, it's the champagne of beers? The entire thing. And they tried to work it into being a joke or whatever, but it was so fucking odd. Was it in the contract where they had to say the entire thing?
It's the champagne of beers every time it's fucking mentioned. Oh, yeah. No, one thing, the shoulder dislocation?
Yeah.
That looked so real. That hurt me.
God,
that
man.
hurt me. I was like, oh, Lord. Oh, gosh. It was bad.
Yeah. And then when they were like, oh, we just got to pop it back into place, I was like, okay, this might not look, so bad. And then they wrapped those two sheets around him, and I'm like,
he was prepping to fucking put some pressure on it. I was like, oh, Lord. Oh, no. Please. It was like, oh, no, that's gotta, that wouldn't, I pray I never dislocate anything. That's what I'll say.
No, the one time I dislocated my shoulder once. And that's because I went in for a tackle and dude's helmet right there. And I just felt my shoulder pop backwards. And then I fell and hit the ground and it popped back in. And I was like, oh, felt that shit.
Yeah. And I would never wish that on anybody. That's fucking horrible.
But
the kid, the main kid, I forget his name every time. You said it a couple times.
Angus Tully is the character name. Dominic Cessna is the actor name.
Yeah. When he was trying to flirt with that girl, and he just goes, "Yeah, Picasso's cool."
Yeah.
I'm just like, You go, guy. You know, you do what you got to do.
I love how honest he was, by the way, because they're finger painting, and he's just dead ass looking down her shirt. And she's like, "Are you trying to look down my shirt?" And he goes, "No, yeah."
The movie did have some pretty good high points. I will say that when I said it was generic, I didn't mean that as a knock, because it wasn't a bad movie. It was a good story. It was shot like how you'd expect it to be. It gave me the feel, it gave me as much a feel that I had to go look up and see if I was watching the right movie. You know.
Yeah.
It was definitely that's just what I felt when I in the overall story.
Yeah. The reason the teacher gets fired, and I was getting heated in this little meeting they had. So the kid convinces them to go to Boston. They don't know why he wants to go to Boston so bad, and throughout the entire movie, he's talking about how he wants to go to Boston.
Yeah.
They go to Boston, and they're having a good time, getting some candy cane.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he tries to sneak off while dude's watching a movie, and he's finally like, I want to go see my dad. Now, in this movie, all you know is his mom is just got married to his stepdad, Stanley. Mm-hmm. And he says his dad is dead at one point in the movie. And in the phone call his mom has with him, she says, I know you miss your father, but yada, yada, yada. So you don't really know what's going on until he goes and meets him. And his father's in a mental institution. Yep. Clearly lost his mind, which I think is a great scene. Dominic, this was his first movie. He was discovered while they were looking for kids to cast in this role. I believe he's done a couple theater parts, but this was his first real movie, and he did a sensational job. Like, he was great.
Oh, yeah.
But he gives his dad this snow globe, and 15 minutes later, you find out that the dad used that snow globe to try to bash in to one of the nurses' heads, and now they got to move him and blah, 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 blah. But his mom and his stepdad, the way they were talking about him, knowing that they didn't even try to come pick him up, and then when he had the opportunity to leave and go skiing and whatever, they didn't pick up the phone at all. And she's talking like, oh, he's just so bad. He's undisciplined. We're going to send him. I was like, you fucking bitch.
Yeah, the way the mom was
cunt.
Talking that entire time, I was just like, so that gives you the right to do nothing for this kid. Don't pick him up for Christmas. Don't pick him up from school. You don't even answer the fucking phone. Yeah. But yet, the teacher who admittedly didn't know about his dad, the way he was, took the kid to do something he wanted to do. Like, for the Christmas, he was stuck at school.
Yeah. And the fact she was like, oh, this set an expectation. I'm like, what? To go visit his fucking dad? What?
Yeah, what?
Dude, and the husband sitting there with the dumbass look on his face going, the entire meeting?
The entire time.
If I was that teacher, I'd be like, you want to do something, bro? You want to do something? You want to swing?
You have something to say.
But basically, he gets fired because he sticks up, and he says that going to see the dad was his idea, Mm-hmm. So he gets fired. The kid gets to stay in school because he was basically like, yeah, he's a pain in the ass. Like, he sucks sometimes, but he's incredibly intelligent, and you can't send him off. You can't ship him away. So he gets to stay in school, which is nice. That's a nice little turnaround because at the beginning of the movie, he would have never done that, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
Overall, it's a top 3 Christmas movie for me. It's something that will be my annual rotation until I get sick of it, like Christmas Vacation. But I think it's going to take me a little longer to get sick of this because I watched it twice this year because I watched it by myself and then I watched it with my lady, and I first saw it last year, and I love it. I give it a 9 Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer's noses out of 10.
That's probably the highest I've seen you rate a movie that we've done on this.
Maybe.
Which is probably
I think the closest
good thing, because I don't think we've had any like really good movies on that list.
No. I think the closest I've gotten is Sherlock Holmes. And that was like a 7 or an 8.
Yeah, I think it was also the same for me. But for this movie, it's been many a year since I've like sat down and watched Christmas movies. And especially out of the 3 that were chosen for this, it was one of the top picks. And in terms of Christmas movies that I've watched, at least in my lifetime, I would probably rate it pretty highly as well. So I'd probably give this about an 8.
Amen. Go check out these Christmas movies if you would like to. I watched The Holdovers on Prime.
I watched them all very legally.
Well, the Holdovers I watched on Amazon Prime. The other 2 I watched on Tubi, which, by the way, Tubi, a free streaming service. Tubi's got some good stuff. Tubi has some great stuff. Don't watch the originals; they're horrible. But
yeah, the originals I've seen ads for. I don't. Yeah.
No. But go watch these movies if you want. Have a Merry Christmas, because I believe this is the episode that's going to go out right before Christmas, or we hope so.
That week of.
But with that Merry Christmas, before you go watch those movies, make sure you like, rate, and share. Especially rating, especially sharing. Z, what's a rating these people can leave?
These guys really brought out some wild movies with How the Gringo Stole Christmas, and just for that, 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
Yeah.
But also share. Click the Crooked Arrow, share to whatever platform you want to share to. Or word of mouth. Word of mouth is very, very important. If someone comes up to you and says, hey, I want some movie recommendations for the holiday season, Z, what do they say?
Well, you head on over to the boys Jackie and Z at Red Light Homies, where they will tell you which movies definitely not to watch and which one they'll suggest.
They got the hookup for the bad ones and a good one.
Yeah.
But mostly bad.
Yeah.
This was the homies Jackie and Z.
That's me.
We'll see y'all next Monday.
Merry Christmas.
Rolling up a little bit of pie. Rolling with some shit that's fine. Fine shit hard on a 9. I'm rubbing on the tabs on the spine. Rolling through in the 8. Wake up, be on the grind. Serving at 6:15. Serving in the 615.